Christopher Columbus and the Columbian Exchange. Tonight's notes will be on Christopher Columbus and the Columbian Exchange. These notes should go on page 13 and 14 in your notebook. Remember, this should be in the classwork section of your notebook. That is the middle section. So pause the video and write down Christopher Columbus and the Columbian Exchange on page 13 and 14 of your notebook. Do that now. All right, Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was another explorer, a European explorer. He sailed for Spain. He was trying to find a route to Asia. He thought he could sail west to get to Asia. So if he's here in Spain, he thought he could go west and then he would eventually get to Asia. He sailed to the Bahamas and thought he had reached the East Indies in Asia. He called the natives there Indians. So of course he would call them Indians because he thought he was in the East Indies. He later explored the Caribbean islands, claiming them for Spain. His voyages led to lasting contact between Europe and the Americas. So he's here in Europe and he was trying to get to Asia. He made 4 trips. You can see all 4 trips. He did not end up in Asia. He ended up here in the Caribbeans, in the Americas, in this area, not in Asia. So if you had to give Christopher Columbus a grade for geography, what type of grade would you give Christopher Columbus? How about a F? He did not know where he was going. He did not understand how to get to Asia. But you also have to keep in mind, this was a time of exploration. A lot of the explorers found things by mistake. They also learned from their mistakes, and then they eventually got to where they were trying to explore, or because of their mistakes, other explorers were able to get to places that they were originally trying to get to. Because of Christopher Columbus, we had this thing called the Columbian Exchange. The Columbian Exchange is also known as the Great Exchange. It was an exchange of food, animals, humans, ideas, culture, and diseases between the New and Old World. The exchange was made possible by the relationship that Columbus helped create between the New World and the Old World. So we had these things, these exchanges going back and forth for a while. And when we say New World, when you hear New World, we're talking about the Americas. When you hear Old World, we're talking about Europe, Asia, and Africa. Now, what kind of foods do you think we got from the Old World? And what kind of food do you think we got from the New World sent over to the Old World? So without the Old World and the Columbian Exchange, we would not have things like bacon. That came from the Old World. A nice juicy steak. Cattle came from the Old World. Bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Bananas came from the Old World. Coffee. You may not drink coffee, but you may know someone that does. Coffee came from the Old World. Oranges, peaches, and chicken. All of these foods came from the Old World. So without this Columbian Exchange starting up, we wouldn't have these foods that most Americans eat today. So let's look further at the Columbian Exchange. In a few minutes, you're going to pause the video and you're going to create this chart. On your chart, you're going to have 3 columns: Old World, Contribution, and New World. So what things did the Old World give to the New World? You're going to put here. And what things did the New World give to the Old World? You're going to put here. But we do have them broken up into categories. So animals, fruits, vegetables, diseases, grains, and cereals. In a few minutes, you're going to look at a map and you're going to analyze the map, and you're going to put in the information. What are the things that the Old World gave to the New World? And what are things the New World gave to the Old World in regards to animals, fruits, vegetables, diseases, grains, and cereals? So take a few minutes and pause the video. And once you're finished, go to the maps. All right, so here's the first map. Look at the map. Look at the pictures. What are some things the old world gave to the new world? Those will be these things right here. What are some things the new worlds gave to the old world? That would be these things right here. So take a few minutes, pause the video, and write these in the appropriate categories. What type of animals did the old world give to the new world? And same thing, what type of animals did the new world give to the old world? Do the same thing with fruits and vegetables and grains and diseases. So pause the video for a few minutes, look over this map, and then fill in the charts. I've also put this map up just in case this one is easier for you. Same thing. These are the things the old world gave to the new worlds. And these are the things the new worlds gave to the old world. So again, pause the video and write down the information inside of the chart. All right, so now that you understand a little bit about the Columbian Exchange, what type of effect did the Columbian Exchange have? It affected three major groups: natives, Europeans, and Africans. So in a few minutes, you're going to look at some positive and negative effects of the Columbian Exchange on these groups. To help you with these notes, of course, a chart. So in a few minutes, pause the video and draw this chart. The effects of the Columbian Exchange, positive and negative. What effect did they have on natives, Europeans, and Africans? So you're going to fill in this chart as you're watching the video and taking notes. So Columbian Exchange and the natives. Now the natives received livestock, grains, citrus fruits, and coffee. Many died due to European diseases. They were not used to or immune to the diseases from Europe, so eventually they all started dying off. They were introduced to new technology such as guns and gunpowder. Spanish conquistadors introduced the Catholic Christian Church to the natives, and new economic opportunities came about because of the Columbian Exchange. So you might want to pause this and think, which one of these are negative and which ones are positive effects due to the Columbian Exchange, and put those in the chart. Columbian Exchange and the Europeans. Again, you're going to, as you read, which one of these are negative and which ones are positive, and you're going to put them in the appropriate spots on the charts. So, Europeans, they received land, sugarcane, turkey, and tobacco from the New World. Spain became a major world power. Remember, Christopher Columbus was sailing for Spain, so a lot of recognition was given to them because of that. It provided a variety of fruits and vegetables to the old world, created a new source of wealth for Europeans. So this trade increased, so it provided more money for Europeans, and established a relationship between different countries. So because of the Columbian Exchange, it established relationships between Africa, although the relationship there wasn't quite positive, with the Americas, and then countries in Europe. So take a few minutes, pause, write these in the appropriate spots on the chart. Are these negative or positive? Columbian Exchange and Africans. Africans were introduced to guns. These were used as trade for slaves. So that's how they were introduced to it. They would give guns to some of the slave catchers there in Africa, and in return, those slave or those Africans will give them slaves. The transatlantic slave trade began. Because of European diseases killing Native Americans, Europe started using Africans as slaves. And because of this, it was a loss of population and culture due to slavery. So take a few minutes, and in your chart, write down these in the negative or positive spot as far as Columbian Exchange. And when we see each other next class, we're going to go over this chart and we're going to discuss why you thought something was positive or why you thought something was negative. So pause the video and give yourself time to fill in the chart for the Columbian exchange and Africans. All right, so let's think about this. What impact did the Columbian exchange have on the world in the late 1400s? So how did the Columbian exchange affect the world during the time of Christopher Columbus? Jot down a few bullets and we'll discuss this in class the next time we meet. And what impact does the Columbian exchange have on the world today? Think about some of the things we got from the New World. Think of some of the things we got from the Old World. Think of some of the things the New World gave to the Old World. And just think about the effects that the Columbian exchange had on the groups of people that were mentioned. And how does that affect the world today? So jot down a few notes in regards to that and be prepared to discuss the charts and these questions in class.